someone to lead me, and that's why I will do anything for him. If he tells me jump, I'll jump. If he tells me sit down, I'll sit down. If he tells me go in the room or go up on stage, I will do either or. Anyways, that's a message for everyone out there. Love and cherish the king in your life.
Hey my friends, welcome to the RP Experience. Peace and love to my brothers and sisters. Before we get started, hit the like button for me. Give you a second to do that. Alright, subscribe and share and turn on notifications so you know when I make a new video. Different strategy now, since I seem stuck at a subscriber number. My goal is to get 152 videos. I think I have 122 right now. Not sure if they count shorts though. That's throwing me off a little bit. So now I'm kind of like, should I delete those earlier videos? So anyway, today's video, which I'm pretty sure you guys saw the beginning of it, and I know it's going to be like a difference of opinion here. I know the women are going to be like, oh hell no, and the guy is going to be like, hell yeah, but not all guys, because not all guys want that. I mean, I know personally I don't want that. Now if I have to pick between who's going to be the submissive and who's going to be the total dominant, then after trying to do that even thing, and I have to admit, in my marriage, that she was more dominant than me, and I thought that was kind of working, but looking at how society has it and how TV shows just kind of kick men when they're down, and it's funny when a woman is dominating a man, but when it's the other way, then it's totally uncalled for. That's what we are going to be talking about right in this video, because I don't agree with that. That's why I think it has to be mutual respect between both parties. But can you have that in this day and age? I think so, and that's the only way I would have like a relationship now with a woman, because I mean she's not going to be walking all over me, but I don't need to walk on over her neither, because I want her to feel important, respected, loved. I don't want her to feel like she's my servant. Now, if she seems happy in that role of the video that I'm about to share with this woman, she could be trolling, but she is Muslim, and sometimes their culture society is different. So, I'm going to respect how she feels with this situation. I wonder how he is in this, because I just happen to see whenever one partner has too much power in the relationship, that goes for the man or the woman, or if they have too much power for over a length of time, they tend to start really treating the other one like really bad. You know, they start talking to them any kind of way. I've seen this with men if they're like too much in charge, or if the woman is too much in charge. But not everybody does this. I'll say, like, with like a job, a person can get in a management position and they can still treat people with respect. Now, however, though, they'll still enforce their power of they are the one in charge when it comes down to it, but they never make you feel like you are less than a person, or like they are a drill sergeant talking to you any kind of way. But there are some people that get in that power position and they start really talking down to you, making you feel like dirt, or they make you feel like um whipping their ass. So it all depends, I guess, who's in that position. And I've seen women in that position and men in that position. So anyway, I'm going to share this video right now, and then we will come back. And I'm going to go both sides here, because I know guys that have covered this video is just covering that one angle. But me, I always cover different angles because I see both sides. Both sides. Both sides.
My husband is my boss. My husband is number one. If my husband tells me, hey, sit down, I'll sit down. If he tells me you can't go out with your friends today, I'm not going to go out with my friends. If he says, hey, go wash this dish for me, I'm going to go wash the dish for him. I chose this man to be the king of my life, and yes, I agree with everything he says, and I do everything he says. And I did that because I chose this man. I put him in this position in my life, and this is how I honor and take care of and love the man in my life. So I tell women out there, you want a man in your life, you want to be happy, figure out what you would do when you are happy. Because I am happy. My husband does so many great things for me, and I would do that for him. I obey him, I respect him, and I let him be the man that he is. I chose a man that I wanted to follow. I chose someone to lead me, and that's why I will do anything for him. If he tells me jump, I'll jump. If he tells me sit down, I'll sit down. If he tells me go in the room or go up on stage, I will do either or. Anyways, that's a message for everyone out there. Love and cherish the king in your life.
Wow. Okay. As far as I know, this video right now is going like viral on TikTok. And I know it has creeped its way on Instagram as well. Pretty sure some women have seen that video as well. Now, there is, I'm not sure the number, but there is a number of men that want women like this. And see, this is why I don't like using that submissive word, because technically that is submissive. Now, maybe it's levels to it, because they have, okay, like with personality tests, they have people that are more dominant, and there are people that's more submissive. You know, I mean, I have to throw myself under the bus. I have more of a submissive type of personality, and I'll say that's only because I usually just go with the flow with stuff. But at the same time, I have some dominant traits, like, I don't follow everybody easily. I don't believe what everybody says. Like, if I know the person, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Or, well, pretty much I give everybody the benefit of the doubt at first, but when what I'm seeing is not matching up with what they are saying, then that defiant thing kicks in. And I think defiance is the form of dominance in like a way. Now, personally, I believe everybody has dominant and submissive traits in them. Even though a lot of men will deny they have any submissive traits at all, and therefore we get into this alpha and beta stuff, which, I get exhausted even thinking or talking about those particular mindsets right there. So I prefer to keep it as simple as possible, you know. And I've seen plenty of women that can be pretty dominant or have a lot of dominant traits, you know. It's just, however, though, I think in relationships, if a woman has too much dominant traits, it won't be able to work with a man, because I think the way most women are built, that if y'all feel like too much stronger or either over top of the man or something, y'all lose respect for him. And once y'all don't have respect for them, men don't feel loved if we don't feel respected. But if you don't respect them, you start just doing some really foul stuff. And that's when that guy has to get out of there. So when women be saying like they love you from the moon and back, if their actions is not matching up with respect, then I think you have to leave that situation right there. Okay, so coming back with what the lady was saying. Uh Look, if she's happy doing that for a man, then fine. Go ahead and do it if she's happy. I don't know how the guy is with her, but I don't see no bruises on her, or she don't look like broken or anything like that. And plus, she could be trolling. Who knows? But once again, she's Muslim, so that could probably be true. Uh, Now, I do just want women to understand that not all men want you to behave like this. However, once again, we don't want a woman that's combative. We don't want them on the other spectrum neither. That's constantly battling and making life difficult for us neither. You know, Me, I'm like more in the middle type of person. She can like think for herself and uh I guess disagree with me on stuff. If things go wrong, like I'll say like paying bills or the rent or something like that, that's something a man should be in charge of. Because if we can't pay rent, everybody's going to look at me, not at her. They're going to look at me because that's my responsibility. So things that's my responsibility, that will come down on my shoulders, I have to be in charge of. So I can't be spending my money willy nilly and I got bills to pay or something. And that's when I think some things men should be able to say like, hey, we're not spending this because I have responsibility. I have certain things I have to do, you know. And she should be okay with that instead of trying to be difficult like this woman here.
My husband says he's upset with me because, in his words, "Sweetie, you need to stop spending so much money on DoorDash. Ordering it 3 times a day is not appropriate, and we need to start living within our means." Honey, it sounds like you have an income problem, not that I have a spending problem. Start earning more money and we won't have these issues. So I took his credit card that we share, and I booked a vacation for my daughter Richard and I. We're staying in a hotel tonight, and I hope he enjoys that I charged $8,000 to his credit card. Make more money, darling.
Damn. No guy wants a wife like that. I'm pretty sure some would, but most sensible guys would not want a wife like that. So, while you women will scoff at what the Muslim woman is saying, men don't want a woman like that. So, can we meet in the middle? And that's if we get married anyway. Like I said, with the marriage laws, how women can just get unhappy one day and then just blow it up or something like that, or either yeah, and all that they need is either a woman in their ear like their best friend, or a new guy in their ear telling them like, hey, live your best life. You know, go out there and have fun. So, okay, so we already looked at that. I already know what a lot of women will say with that. Some women will agree with that type of thing right there. The only thing I will say with women that want to go the length of the Muslim woman, just pick your man very carefully, not just with the money that he's making. Just make sure that he's a leader that can treat you with respect. I'm not going to say like be nice or treat you well or something like that. Treat you with respect so that while you are giving them that amount of control over you, that he won't take advantage of it. I would say for most women, yeah, you don't have to go that length, but you cannot be like the last woman that I just showed, because guys like me is like done with that. Not that mine was ever that length right there, but a woman can change like that. I'm pretty sure she wasn't like that in the early stages when they met and they was about to get married. Anyway, I have a video by Coach Greg Adams. The guy that actually inspired me to start making these kind of videos too, besides somewhat saving my life in a way. So let him show a way of how, especially in the States, how this is affecting men.
Here it is, more normie views of relationships and marriage that should be considered toxic, but it is not. Why is it not considered toxic? Because the husband is supposed to be dumb. The husband is supposed to be at the service of the wife. The husband is supposed to be playing these silly little games that they want to play with their social media. Get in there and dance on TikTok. Get in there and do these things with me. Get in there and show me that you're of service of me. And most people, normies, men included, will say, that's what the husband is supposed to do. Good job. Good boy. Let me scratch the back of your ear. Are you good? Oh, boy. Good boy. So let's show you this right here. The good old husband and wife dynamic that you're seeing here. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Let me share this. Make sure I don't share my feet collection on accident. That's all I'm always worried about. I'm going to share my feet collection picture on accident. So here it is right here. Let's go ahead and play the whole video. Then we'll play it again, break it down, whole part, whole method for you teachers. The whole part, whole method. So, boy, that seems exhausting. In the normie humor, oh boy, yuck, 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 yuck. Oh, yuck, yuck. He's a good old little boy, isn't he? He's so good. He's a good man. See, those are the good men. You should be like that, honey. Be a good man like that. Meanwhile, at the end of it, she's still not happy. I'm not happy. And then she mad. How come you didn't open this door for me? All right. Oh my goodness. Anyway, this guy has to work, bring home the bacon, at least bring home 50% of the income, if not 100% of the income. And so she can save her money and buy shoes and dresses from, Nordstrom's. But he's supposed to, on his time off, or wait for her to come home. Look at this. He's waiting for her to come home from work. The gender role switch. Oh, yeah, he's waiting at home while she is going to come home for work. And he has to say, what do you want, dear? Want me to put something on the oven for you? See, this is the direction our world is going in. And even when they do skits, the truth and humor and the art that imitates life, or the life that imitates art, is this. They're basically conditioning you to accept this role reversal. And mostly 85% of the deaf, dumb, and blind, the normies, the NPCs, They're going with it, guys. And you're waiting for Andrew Tate to save you, bro. You waiting for CGA to save you and Kevin Samuels to return back from the dead. It ain't gonna happen. Look, gentlemen.
Oh, he putting that work in. Even though that's a skit with a video, when I look at like how TV shows go, like what is The Simpsons or any family type of show, the man in a way is kind of subservient to the woman to a degree, you know, because technically she's the boss. How do you think that term came about? Happy wife, happy life, you know. How about happy spouse, happy life? Okay, like both people. But however, though, I do put this on men in the past because they kind of just bowed down and kind of just took this. So in relationships, in a way, even though we don't make videos of saying what that Muslim woman was saying, like I'll jump and all this other stuff, in most relationships, especially in the States, that's how it is. Anytime a guy says happy wife, happy life, or saying like, well, she's the boss, or I have to ask my wife, which however though I do think you, to show respect for the other one with some stuff, you should ask the other one, especially if you're making a big purchase or you're doing something that could inconvenience the other one, or either have them wondering like, hey, what happened to you or something like that. Yeah, you should at least like let them know. But I noticed that in a lot of cases that the men have to basically ask permission, or just they're like kissing their woman's ass. So why is it okay for the man to be in that type of role, but when it's flipped over here and the woman has to do it, she don't want to do it? So, you know, that's why like a lot of men now is like, we don't want no relationships, we don't want no marriage, blah blah blah. And of course, the woman's not going to do it in the dating phase. Well, some of them will. That's how some cultures just mess up when they just start saying, rifling off what a guy needs to have and all this other stuff or something. But at some point, she's going to start willing that stuff out. And, you know, I think guys in the past would usually soak that up. But guys now is, I don't know, we are more inclined to like walk away and go the other way. Anyway, let him finish this because I don't want this to be too long a video because I think I'm making my point.
Larry Bird's not walking through that door, fans. Kevin McHale's not walking through that door, and Robert Parrish is not walking through that door. And if you expect them to walk through the door, they're going to be gray and old.
Now, you know, I don't know, man. Some of these people are comedians, but you know what? This is how normies see a good equal partnership. This is how normies see a good equal partnership. Let's go ahead and play it, and we'll break it down here again, whole part whole. All right. Wifey comes home. He gets the text. Obviously, he's just waiting for her to come home. But he's a high value man, too. He makes 6 figures, too, doing that. He makes 6 figures, too. Now, this dude's putting his whole spine at risk just to do the skit, let alone if this was somewhat true. And people will say here in the comment section, the way he handled those steps. Yeah, the choreography involved. Nice. There was a woman here, do this, and she still complains. Sad reality. You do all of this and she still complains. Actually, one point I want to make, ladies, sometimes you really don't know how much we protect you and do for you because it goes unnoticed. This is the same with fathers and children. Most of what we do as parents or leaders or housing authorities or head of household, it goes unnoticed until you run up into an issue. And then you're like, oh my God, I'm not happy. You're sitting there like,
oh my God.
Okay. You're sitting there like, I can't believe this happened to me. And you were like, I prevented 50 things from happening to you already. Okay. But let's go ahead and show it here. Let's put it up. Skit guys are in the chat. Skit guys are in the chat as if, yeah, as if the spoil me culture, okay, as if the spoil me culture is not alive and well. You know, most of this is unnecessary. And by the way, you know, as much as people might think that this is out of the realm of possibility, this might not happen in the 20-second video, but it might happen definitely over 20 minutes, maybe 2 hours in your relationship. Now, just as a formerly married person, what he's trying to prevent is her being upset about something, because he knows at some particular point, it's right around the corner. Okay, so if he doesn't do something, or if one thing's not taken care of, it could be the end of his evening. And by the time he gets her in the bed, by the time they make it to the bedroom, by the end of the evening, and she's had her 2 or 3 glasses of wine, this is possibly what he's going to hear from his wife.
Are you serious? I had a chili dog for lunch, okay? I'm a little bloated. I did like 18 loads of laundry today. No exaggeration. Pretty sure it was 18. I'm tired. I haven't showered in 3 days and I smell like a bag of onions. Is any of this turning you off? Nothing? No, I don't want to cuddle. I know what cuddling means. Cuddling means that at some point your pants come off and I have to do things. I don't want to cuddle. I want to go to sleep. Are you serious? It's a school night. Those are my pants, not your pants. Can I help you? Did you lose something? Seriously? I'm on my period. You pouting? Are you seriously pouting right now?
So essentially, this is what he's trying to make not happen. He's like, I don't want to be, you know, her to turn me down for sex tonight. I want her to actually, you know, put her lips on my weenie. You know, my peen needs some damn attention tonight. I want some. You know, he could have been looking at feet pictures and he could have been looking at girls at the junior college, but he waited for his wife. So now he's got to make sure he gets some action tonight. This is why he's doing things like this. And this is the underlying message of this video. Let's continue. Wait, I'm not happy. How dare you not open that door? And there goes his night. No weenie for you. No weenie attention for you. So, guys, this is typical of marriage. I know a lot of married people are laughing at this. They're loving this. It's hysterical. Honey, why can't you do like this? How come you can't be like this? And meanwhile, he is like that to a certain extent. And one thing could set it off. Anyway, sad reality, but this is our worldview of things. And I'll just point this out. This video has 32 in 5 days. It has 32.8 32,000 likes. I was going to say 32.8K likes, but it has 32.8K likes. Nonetheless, whatever the views are probably like 400,000, maybe 500,000 views. So, guys, this is the state of the world. This is what people do. This is the shit that we do. Wow.
So, as you can see, yes, a lot of women find that one funny. Is entertaining. Even guys would be like, okay, yeah, boom, boom, boom. And I think that's kind of like how a lot of marriages are over here. And that's the thing too, that as a man, you can be doing all that, because in a lot of my relationships, especially my marriage, I did a lot of stuff. I put up with a lot of stuff, and then in the end, you know, it wasn't good enough. It was not enough. Not to say I was perfect, You know, I had some holes in my game, but I know I went over beyond most men would do, and still in the end it wasn't enough. So the same way like that guy forgot to open that last door, you know, and then she's like still complaining. And this is the thing of like when guys are working and they are working like 40, 50 hour work weeks, and then they come home and they're expected to do like housework. And look, I understand if you know the the woman is out, or either she's doing a lot as well because she's working and then she's taking care of the kid or something like that. To a degree, yes, I understand. But if it's the case of like the guy is like working himself to death, and then he does come back and help with house stuff, and then he forgets to do one thing, like wash a dish, or either he accidentally leaves the refrigerator cracked open or something, you know, and it could just been for 15 minutes, and then she got in, and then she just throwing like a whole hissy fit out of all the other stuff that he did. You know, she's gonna zone in on that. So, you know, look, ladies, you know, if you're doing those types of things right there, I'm definitely encouraging guys to do not, don't tie the knot, don't don't move her in. Just and well, by then it's probably too late, because a lot of times when females, you know, because not all women do this, but females, they're going to do this stuff, and you already live with them. Well, some women will do it too. The ones, I guess, slanted more on the female side, but they're going to do it once they already got you. Anyway, that's pretty much it. You know, I personally think both genders or sexes should respect each other, treat each other with respect. And remember, we both have a role to do. You know, I may not like my role, but look, I have not the weight of the world on my shoulders, but certain things in a relationship that I cannot dodge. That, you know, if it starts falling apart, everybody's going to look at me. So, you as a woman, a lady, even a female, it should be some things that y'all do as well. So anyway, I don't think there's too much more I can add with this. You know, both models right there, whether it's the real subservient woman or the real subservient man, is not working. But if if it has to be picked which gender, it would work better with the other one being subservient, I would have to say it would have to be the woman. Because if the man's subservient, you know, the woman's not going to respect them. The woman's going to leave him. The woman's going to cheat on him. The woman's going to do a whole lot of stuff. If the man is the definite dominant one and she's subservient to him, she's the least guarded, at least in the States anyway. She's the least guarded that, you know, she can get alimony and child support and stuff like that if they split up. And and she still benefits from him if it's in that kind of situation. Not ideal. Once again, I'm not saying I support a woman being that subservient to a man, but I'm just saying, if you have to choose which one is going to be up here and the other and one's going to be down there, it just works better if it's the other way. Because if it's the opposite way, the woman doesn't want a man that she's more powerful than anyway. Anyway, that's it. I'm talking too much. Hit the like button going out, subscribe, share, and watch me on my journey to 152 videos, and hopefully I get more subscribers soon.
Where's the compassion in that, though?
I'm thinking about you've had 1,000 penises inside your
If you
vagina.
are going to be with someone, shouldn't compassion be a main factor in that relationship and understanding of who they are, what they've been through? Shouldn't that be a main factor?
Somebody else.
The world doesn't owe
Not
you
me.
understanding. That's entitlement. You're not entitled to someone's compassion and understanding. I think men are allowed to be selective in who they date. I think men are allowed to have standards. In general, if you poll men, would you rather have a girl that slept with 100 or slept with 1? They would pick 1. You were a hoe if you slept with 3 people 100 years ago.
Right.
You can't undo the wiring of what in general men want.
I still wanna run to you. Am I breaking through? Do you feel me too?
Pando made it.
I still wanna run to you.